Hi. Okay, so I wanted to talk about something that's really embarrassing out there. I mean, really, really embarrassing regarding government and regarding American history. Right, so I'm not a fan of socialism for a reason. Okay? Socialism is what causes people to lose their freedom of choice. For example, the action of the Supreme Court was more of a socialist decision. Okay? Obviously, the government, the USA government, is not socialist for a reason. Okay? But there's some confusion out there because socialists got involved politically. Illegal immigration, they got involved in education illegally, and the textbooks were confusing to students. So there's pro-American students that are legit citizens, some of them, not all of them, that we're confused about, is America capitalist or socialist country? Well, America's definitely not socialist, okay? But they were lied to in education. So there were these immigrant teachers who taught pro-socialist views and concepts to students, American students, which is actually a form of treason and terrorism. Okay? So the students that are actually more capitalist at heart in their views think that that's actually socialism. That's how confused people are. And some people that are pro-communist or whatever don't realize that their views are more capitalist. So there's this confusion politically in America. Not just America, but other nations also. So I'm just here to clarify some things that I noticed going on that was ridiculous. On the news, I mean, for example, there's reporters that are being bribed by certain people politically to speak a certain way. And then if they're not speaking the way that the news station wants them to speak, the news will blurb in a scene here or there to change the view of the people speaking. Okay, that's another example. Okay. So while everybody's trying to reach their little endeavors, you know, politically, there are women that are pro-choice for a reason. And that's a good reason, really. A really good reason. But because when people were performing abortions, say certain doctors or nurses or even malpractitioners, or some people that are pro-choice, their motive behind the abortion is what caused this horrible manifestation of no choice, you know, kind of thing. So had the people that were using the choice of abortion not been like malintending of somebody, I'll use myself as an example. In case that wasn't obvious. Okay. Now, that is definitely not what I wanted for everybody. I think a woman ought to have a choice, and the reason pro-choice came into fruition in America is because, truthfully, the God of this nation saw illegal immigration, illegal aliens coming in, raping American women. This was to protect them, okay? So they don't have a mixture that is inappropriate to this nation, okay? Etc. There's other reasons also that are legit, okay? That's just one example. So then we have the religious, who are like socialist communists, that are claiming to be capitalists because they're confused about the definition of capitalism, socialism. Okay, so there's a lack of education on this. A lot of misinformation, okay? Because they've been using one person for information, okay? Giving one person no choice all those years. Woo, okay. Really? So that backfired on everyone involved. And I feel so bad about that, but you know, what goes around comes around. That's what they told me, so now you all are suffering that penalty, that consequence. But I just wanted to, you know, clarify this whole thing with socialism. Socialism is the same thing as communism, just a kind of like a fancier word for that. America is not a communist nation for a reason. Okay, so quit associating pro-choice with socialism. That's not legit. That's not correct. That's misinformation. Okay? Okay. Now, you know, I see people trying to heal the soul of this nation. Okay? But do any of you know what a soul is? Because if there's an abortion with the soul in the fetus, or whatever you might call that body, then you might be, you know, going against the very freedom of choice that you have just obtained through an abortion. So I've mentioned this before, but a little more clearly, I would suggest if you decide to have an abortion, really need to pray for like some kind of clarity. Does that body that's in the womb already have a soul? And the problem with the religious is they don't know when the soul actually enters the body inside the mother's womb, inside the woman's womb. Okay. So a legitimate abortion would be when the soul has not yet entered the body of the fetus. That was the approved reason or moment to abort. So there are different moments the soul might enter a body, a fetus body, for example. So that takes like certain knowledge that might only come from the Lord. Okay. For me, I have a soul. I am human. Okay. But something happened to my soul the moment I was attacked on social media by illegal immigrants, etc., when I was mistaken for some kind of robot. Okay, etc. That's just an example that I'm using, a personal example of what happened to me. Okay. So with the freedom of choice and abortion, pro-choice is a helpful option for American citizens. Okay, so those of you who think you know the God of this nation and you chose no choice, you went against an opportunity of compassion, okay, you went against an opportunity that was granted by the Maker, the very one that you all claim to pray to. Okay, so just take a moment to think about the decision that was made in the courtroom. Okay, see how that kind of really put a damper on freedom of choice? And America is about freedom of choice. Okay, to protect the woman and to protect the citizens of a nation. Okay, to protect true children with souls. Yes, there are aliens among us, and no, that does not always have to be so, but it's what happened. Okay, so very embarrassing, that decision that was made. It's like supposedly a religious decision, and they just went against their Maker when they did that. Anyway. I mean, really weird stuff's going on out there in the world today. You know, I mean, I saw something on the news where people are like smuggling animal urine. Ugh. Really? But that's what they did to me. See what they're doing? See how insane that is? What happened? Did everybody go mad or something? There's water. You know, healthier things to drink. Why would anybody want to drink urine? Or mix that in food and stuff? You know what I'm saying? That comes out of the body. That's an excretion. You know, that's just, that has to go. That's just flushing out the body of the toxins that's in the body. Why would you re-drink that? You really want COVID or something? I mean, come on. Okay, so anyway, I mean, that was not exactly a rabbit trail topic that I just went off on, but that was another example. Okay, so it's kind of funny to see, no, I don't mean to embarrass anyone, but I've been so embarrassed. I mean, hey, why not just spill the beans and be real, you know? But it's really embarrassing when some women who mean well, they're pro-choice, and they're standing up for their rights and protests, but they defend the very government that caused their freedom of choice to suddenly come to a halt. Okay, so it's just like, I need to kind of step in here and explain something, you know, maybe that people got confused about over the years, misinformed about. So, and then there's like the rat race with capitalism. Okay, I've been hurt by both types of government. Okay, but especially socialism. Okay, America's not a socialist country. My advice would be to stop, you know, trying to advance socialism in this nation, because honestly, that seems like treason. Okay, and terrorism at the same time. But just to clarify, there are misled students and people, especially from high school years, public schools, they got a little confused. Maybe not all of them, but a good amount got confused politically because of the illegal immigration that was going on, and they hired illegal immigrant teachers that really don't know true American English history kind of thing. Okay. Yeah, so anyway, so I went through the wrong way. They were spying illegally, you know, through a human head, my own kind of thing, and stuff like that. Yeah, very inhumane. Oh, jeez. All right. Yes, I know how to use a computer, but the phone is a little more convenient. Okay? When random things happen on the spot. Okay.